Hola!
Hola!
So, as you know, I am Adrienne. I'm from Canada, but I'm also on the Western Hemisphere Region Committee. So, this afternoon, myself and Mariette and Rocio from Peru are going to be talking to you about partnerships and how partnerships can help us foster cross-cultural connections using guiding and scouting. So we have an initiative in the Western Hemisphere that we've been working on since 2014. And we're going to tell you a bit about that. And we'd also love to hear from you as to the types of partnerships that you have formed with other MOs in your regions or maybe cross-regionally as well. So I think first, Peru has a little icebreaker to get us all prepared to learn. We need to stand up. If we can, in front of the chairs, please.
Make a circle.
Yeah, the circles.
Are you smoking English?
This is a song. It's so easy. That is the name. So caramba. That's if you want to you can read the lyrics. Okay. First is so can we practice like really quickly? So caramba. So there's this girl there. It's la mano en la cabeza. It's not laza. It's cabeza. La otra, the other one is en la cintura. Moviendo la colita. I think it's a C, it's not a D. Moviendo la colita. And after that, sacando a mi amiguita, which is you grab your friend and switch. Okay? So we're going to do it the first time slow, but the next time. Okay? We're going to 1, 2, 3. So, caramba, so, caramba. En la cabeza, la mano en la cintura, moviendo la colita, sacando a tu amiguita. So, caramba, so, caramba. Mano en la cabeza, la mano en la cintura, moviendo la colita, sacando a tu amiguita. So, if we can go back a little bit to earlier in the week, we talked about creating experiences for girls that were real. Do you remember that? So what was real? What did it stand for? What was the R? And the E? And the A? And the L? Learner-led. Exactly. So we feel that this can also apply to the types of partnerships that we form with each other to make them more meaningful and more impactful when we're trying to work together across MOs. So not only for the experiences for our girls, but also for the experiences for our volunteers and for ourselves. So what we'd like you to do is we have some partnership stations set up over here. And I believe that Rocio and Mariette will tell you what we'd like you to do.
Okay, yeah. We have some questions on kind of some tables of so we need 5 groups of 5 groups of 10 persons or 9 maybe. And we have to answer the questions. You can find some post-its there and try to find all the questions. After that, we continue with the reflection about the answer we found. Okay? Let's go on this one. Please make groups. Please not stay in the same room, the same place. We have some minutes. Yes. We have 4 minutes more, please. If you have more answer, you can put more. Yeah, put the paper, the post-it on the paper. You can make the change for them. Yeah, okay. No, for each group. You can change for the second question, please. We all have so much time. Go for the another. Go for another question.
So, when you have to change places or tables, Rocio will yell, "Caramba!" Okay? That's Adrian's idea.
So, caramba!
And then you can rumble your way to the next table.
Caramba! This is the second question, please. Caramba, a second. Try to answer the 5 questions. You have to move in 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Caramba! The third question, please. Here's nobody in this table. Next one. Caramba, this is the 4th question, please. We have only 10 seconds for the change. Caramba, for the last question, please. Running, running. You have to move quickly. Okay. Stay in the table that you are with your group, please. Okay. Where is? Okay. We need more people here in this group. Where is that? Here. We need people here, please.
Remember, each group is of 9 or 10, no more. Please. Okay, so.
Okay. Okay. In the table that you are, please. Okay. We have 5 minutes to thinking about the answer you find, and if you have another idea that you want to share about the questions. Okay, share the answer that you find. Okay? You can share the answer that you find on the paper that you have in front of your table, please. We have 3 minutes or 5 to discuss about the answer that you find, if you know about the answers. Please try to find some answers that who can help in your MO, that you can find like the most interesting answer for you. Does anybody needs help with the translation?
After that, we have again, we invite our members of our online learning and so do some training the badges and all our members
We have only 1 minute more, please. Stay there.
all around the world. Internationally, we have the majority of tenure and some of our jobs and also are very
Okay, thank you for your answers. We will give the answer for the staff. Let's come back if you finish.
Girls, please, everybody back to your seats. Like right now.
Wow. Hello. Hola. Let's back. Everybody back. Hello. Hello. Are you ready? What about the answer that you find? Something interesting for you? Any ideas? Okay. I will need Adrian will be a presentation about that. So, do you guys have some ideas about why mutual partnerships are important? Do you think they're important? Yes. So, if you had one word of why you would think a mutual partnership is important, what would it be, Heather? Learning. Learning. I like it. And how about you? Belonging. What about you?
That we have challenges, we have the different challenges that we face.
Well, please. We must use it. 2 words. Oh, yeah. 2 words.
Community? Communication. So, for 2020, which is the project that we have been doing in the Western Hemisphere, it was really important for us that our partnerships felt mutual. There has been a long period of twinning in the region, but we heard from our MOs that they didn't always understand the objectives of twinning or the goals. What was it that we were trying to accomplish?
And we heard that people wanted to have more mutual partnerships across the movement. And we fully believe that everybody has something that they can offer, and everybody has something they can learn. So no matter which MO you come from, no matter how big, how small, how rich, how poor, we can all learn from each other. And what we have to offer is really valuable. So we set out to do things a little bit differently with this project and to try something new. So the first thing was we wanted to be really strategic about how we set up these partnerships in the Western Hemisphere. So do you guys remember earlier in the week we were talking about Vision 2020? And do you remember the 6 outcomes? Sure, let's hear them. Funding, membership, quality experiences, that's right. So we were looking, in Vision 2020, we were looking to increase membership, increase our image and visibility, right? Influence issues that affect girls and young women, strengthen the quality of the Girl Guiding and Girl Scouting experience across the movement, build leadership capacity, and increase funding. So we set out to focus specifically on outcomes 3 and 4, so influencing issues that affect girls and women and strengthening the quality of the experience, but we also ended up kind of hitting on outcome 5 as well. So now that we had the Vision 2020 in our one pocket, we also didn't want to just randomly pick partnerships through the region. We didn't want to just say, well, Hong Kong would like to work with Australia, so let's do that. We actually wanted there to be a reason and a goal and a purpose behind those partnerships. So in the region, we found some common priorities among MOs, and that's how we decided to structure our strategic partnerships. So all of the MOs that I'm about to tell you about all have at least one of these priorities in common, and some of them have more than one. So that was to increase the value of volunteerism. So the MOs involved really wanted to create a better experience for their volunteers. Educational program development, so really increasing the quality of the Girl Guiding Scouting experience. And they also told us that they wanted to learn how to better integrate WAG's programming into their everyday guiding life. So based on that, we selected countries from the region to then be part of this initiative. So that was Canada, El Salvador, Peru, Chile, Guyana, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And so the Western Hemisphere, in partnership with Girl Guides of Canada, paired the 5 countries from the hemisphere with different provinces in Canada. Just making sure I've hit everything here that I wanted to tell you about. So the next thing was, we didn't want our volunteers just to come into the project not understanding what was expected of them. So these are the four roles of our twinning lead volunteers. So all of those 6 countries that I just mentioned, selected through a process that they chose. So in some of them they had to apply. There was a criteria around the type of volunteer that we were looking for. So they agreed to commit to a 2-year project for the same volunteer, and they agreed that they would engage their MO in the twinning initiative, that they would foster cross-cultural learning and partnerships between MOs, that they would create innovative learning experiences for World Thinking Day and International Day of the Girl, which I'll tell you more about in a minute, and that they would plan, deliver, monitor, and evaluate their projects. So we asked for a big commitment from them, but everybody was on board and everybody wanted to begin this cross-cultural journey with their twinning partner. So, as I said, our article really told us they wanted a framework. They wanted more than just, here you're a partner, have fun. We wanted people to be able to actually connect across the movement. Not just learn about each other, not just learn about what you eat in another country, but actually meet somebody or really understand what life is like for them. And we obviously can't all travel. So we really challenged our volunteers to get creative about how you actually make authentic connections without necessarily traveling or having the funds to travel. So we have 6 touch points in our framework. So the first was that we brought people together to actually get them familiar with this new framework and what we were asking them to do, their roles and expectations. And then we asked them to create projects that would be mutual between the girls in their countries around World Thinking Day 2015. Then we brought them back together in Mexico about 8 or 9 months later, so the same volunteers, to monitor and evaluate how that had gone, and then to make new action plans for International Day of the Girl 2015, again, to create a project for their girls to actually share together, and they will do the same for World Thinking Day 2016. And then the final event will be Guiding Mosaic in 2016, which I'll tell you a little bit more later, which is an excellent event that's happening in Canada next summer. So as I said, we first brought our volunteers together in Toronto. So we wanted them to understand the expectations and commitments for the project, the framework that I was just telling you about. We also wanted them to understand WAG's approach to youth learning. So a lot of the similar things that you're learning this week as well. Learning to thrive, prepared to learn, prepared to lead, and how they can use those resources combined with WAG's educational programs, such as World Thinking Day, International Day of the Girl. You could pick any really that you wanted. And so to use WAG's approach to youth learning to then implement those programs in a way that allows them to create connections with girls around the world. And while they were in Toronto, we also wanted them to actually create action plans for how they were going to do that. So not just learn about the resources and think about taking it home, but they actually left with a plan as to how they were going to work together going forward. So these are just a few pictures of us getting our brains around our new approach to twinning. You'll remember that the twinning or the Thinking Day resource was a game that year. Here's the lovely Rocio, the WAG's team who helped us pull it all together. I was actually stuck in a snowstorm. I come from a very northern part of Canada where it snows a lot. I couldn't make it. So, following Toronto, they all went home. And then working together virtually, they all implemented plans for World Thinking Day 2015. So as I said, then we brought our volunteers back together in Mexico. But we then added to the project at this point. So in Toronto, we have had adult volunteers who are going to take this project for 2 years. In Mexico, we also invited young leaders or ranger age girls. So we had also a co-lead or a girl lead who came with the original twinning lead who had been with us in Toronto. And then from there, they were involved in developing the next projects for International Day of the Girl and World Thinking Day 2016 with the original lead. So we were bringing in another level of girl/volunteer at this point. So we also continued exploring WAG's approach to youth learning. So we explored REAL, the same way you're exploring REAL this week, and the concept of girl-led. And once again, they explored the WAG's resources for World Thinking Day and for International Day of the Girl. And this event ended up being really special because we had introduced all the participants, all of the leads, to the World Thinking Day 2016 materials in the morning. And then in the afternoon, we told them, and guess what? Tomorrow, we have about 90 orphans coming from a local home, and we would like you to run a carnival for them using the WAG's resources. And you have about 24 hours to do it. And we asked them to put their girl leads in the lead to do that. So the younger participants planned that carnival for nearly 100 children in less than 24 hours. It was an amazing, amazing experience for everybody. And this is just some pictures of the event. And you can just go through them. And so after doing that, the next thing they did was the same as in Toronto. They developed action plans for going forward for how they were going to connect for International Day of the Girl and World Thinking Day 2016. So again, they left with a clear plan as between the two MOs of how they wanted to do this.
Anyone who agrees and doesn't share their opinion yet?
So next up, obviously we've just done International Day of the Girl, and we'll hear some examples of what the MOs did to actually share that experience between Canada and the other countries in the Western Hemisphere. And next up will be their Thinking Day projects for 2016.
Program and initiatives. For example, NLBT, we do NLBT training right now to the blossom. And when we did the training, when we advertised, I'm one of the NLBT.
So what we've really done with this initiative is challenge the volunteers and our young leads to develop innovative ways to use WAG's programming in a way to actually connect our girls in a meaningful way and with a purpose. So I had mentioned Guiding Mosaic earlier, and so phase 1, we had our adults, I had said, right? Phase 2 in Mexico, we had our younger leads, so teenagers to early 20s. And so Guiding Mosaic is, for those who, some of you may be familiar, some of you may have already went. It's a national camp in Canada. So this will be the 13th one since 1927. And it's huge. It usually has about 1,800 participants. And then another 100 international and about 350 volunteers. So there'll be about 2,000, probably about 2,000 people at this camp. And what we would like to see happen, and the original plan, so we haven't gotten there quite yet, but we're hoping, is that all of our twinning countries will send girls to Guiding Mosaic, and that will be the capstone event for this initiative. So in the third phase, we will have done our adults and our young leaders, and then actually have our girls meeting face to face and connecting at the camp. So we're really, really excited to see how all that could play out. It's been quite a journey, and I'm happy to talk to anybody about the sort of framework that we put in place or the reasons why we did certain decisions. But so far I know we've had a lot of success and a lot of fun in really connecting across the Western Hemisphere. So I'd like to turn it over to Rocio to tell you a little bit about her specific partnership.
Above 15 years old. 1-5.
Like Adrian told us, we stay at the twinning project. This is not our first twinning. The first one that we had was with Nassau, but it was only one unit in Peru and one unit in USA. But the difference with this program is to take more about the global, all the countries would be involved. This is the first in Toronto, like you say, Amigas del Mundo, Connect, Grow, and Impact. This is the name of the event in Toronto, and so that's the first contact and the first connection with our partners, who is British Columbia and Quebec. Peru is working with both provinces. In the training, we received some training about leadership. We also identify our advantage and also our weakness. If we discover that the leaders needs help with another ability that we didn't have, we have to ask for someone in our MO to help us. Also, we have to plan a project. We assume engagements about dates, and also we are working on World Thinking Day 2015. We have some change with the first team with BC, but also what was solved sooner. The next one. As first event that we have was the launching 2020 in the National Assemblies, also in Quebec and also in Peru. Do you see the first picture? Lori, she is from Quebec. We make a connection on the assembly to introduce our councils. Also, in Peru, we made the game because we decided to use the resources about the World Thinking Day. I don't know if everybody knows about that. Okay. We create a big board and with some and play the game. So we recognize also in the assembly that the person who will be in charge in all of the cities that we will work training in Peru. Also, we present the project. It was the World Thinking Day of 2015, the International Day of the Girl, and also the next year World Thinking Day. It was like the deadlines of the project. Okay, this is the first, our big first event that was very incredible for the girls because we made the game by Skype. So it was in March. Also, it was a lot of learning for the leaders because in Peru we didn't have the saving day. So 2 days before the event, it was like a situation we had. 2 days before the event, we synchronized our times and said it's okay for the Saturday we will find. And Saturday was not there because Canada also has 1 hour more, so we lost 1 hour. So we were very, very upset and desperate at that moment. It was a learning for us, for the leaders. Also, we have some challenges with Canada because we have different vacations time, also the weather. We were in summer, they were in winter, so the day that we decided about the game, they were snowing, so they have to do indoor, and we are outdoor. Also, the expectative was very, how to say, in the morning of the day, I was really worried because not so much people were confirmed that they are going for the game because they are on vacation in Peru. And I said, okay, I have an engagement with the persons in Canada, and how was that? But suddenly we were telling all the girls, and we have 20 girls in Peru, and in Canada we have 15. So we have more girls in Peru. That was so fun. The girls love the activity. They share a lot. They also the language was not a big deal because trying to connect because guy is guy. We understand about that. Okay, the next one was a visit of some Canadian guiders who visit in Peru. They also consider with the training in Peru of the leaders. They can introduce by them. We have also in the bottom we have a park with Lady Olaf Park. It's with a sculpture in the size of us. Okay. The next one, some of the ideas that we took with the Canadians was to create a calendar. So we decided the first week we will talk about food, for example. The second was guide uses. And the third, the sports. So every week we have a topic, and we create a Facebook. On the Facebook we have to put some information about our countries, and the girls have to look and try to do some activity that they want about that. Another idea that we had and worked together with the Canadians was create a manual of activities, and also this tour we sent that to the guiders and with ideas, no, maybe some crafts, maybe some recipes, drinks. Also, it was being updated by some times. About the food cooking in the activities, we found some recipes. So they create they make some recipes in the bottom are the Canadian doing some recipes from Peru. And in the first there Suyanas is a city of the north that was working very hard with me. They teaching how to prepare a dish. The next one, also, if the program also is for the rangers or for the elders, because it focuses that, we were working with the kids, with the children, with the brownies. In Peru, we did the Canadian beaver, like the craft, and also in Canada, they make the Peruvian sponsors and little drums. Another idea has sharing some games, some songs. Also, we are trying. That's another situation was the language, because the girls trying to say something in English says another thing. No, that was luckily the Canadians took like in a good way, no. Also, we decided an important thing that we will have to say here is the girls decide what to do for day one. If they want to do a recipe or a craft on how they want to do, they decide. In August we have the cultural connections. That was the second part of the scene with the guys in Canada. Also, but in this event, we were working with our colleagues, the young girls. Also, the second say grow, because we were growing. Coaching was a new concept here, because we have now a mentor who is following us, our work. We define also the roles in H1, and Adrian told us we have the carnival. It was a really exciting event because all the leaders said we learned how to let them to prepare a program. So we were very worried and said, what happened? That was very useful for the adults and also for the colleagues. This is the group. This is all the team complete. Here is Fred. He's here because he's also what all the events that training have. He was introduced to training in Mexico, so that's why he's appearing there. In Mexico, we plan about the International Day of the Girl. We proposed a simple idea, and I guess it was a success for us to give some ideas to short time to complete. We say the girls, we want to tell us your story. Maybe you will receive some stories about family, about the time of the parents, about the grandmother, the mascot, everything. They have to make a video. A video was the more resource that they use. They create some videos and some drawings also. The next one please. Also, 1 week before the International Day, in Canada and also in Peru, we made the activity pack of International Day of the Girl. And also after the Central Day, we make pictures with that framework. It was important because we did on a park. It, for us, was very interested because people saw our association and they were interested. It was a little marketing for us. Our sources is the social media. We use Facebook, YouTube, and Skype. Facebook, we publish all the activities. YouTube is for the videos, and Skype is for the coordinators to make the meetings. Also, here we have a big challenge because we want to make an interchange mainly about the girls, but now for us it's a little difficult because of the security. So we are trying to do that, but we have it's little difficult. We are getting hard to get. But now the leaders are trying to make the connection. The leader from Peru with the leader of the Canada for units to make the email. We are for the next year making some process. Working in Day 2016, we are planning to make a rally. Also will be the Skype included. In August of the next year, Canada, British Columbia, a patrol is coming to visit Peru. It's a good opportunity for us because we are planning to have 3 days together. The persons we are choosing some girls of the cities who are working or training. We are planning to have 1 day for activities of guides. The second day is for a service project, and the third day will be a city tours but together with the cars. In the guiding mosaic is the closing of the project. Also, we are trying to work on this now because we need some fundraising for that and try. But that's the experience that we have with training. Really we are very happy with that because it is working very well. Here,
forever I was grateful to please take a ride.
we will show a video that it's
For 5 years I was
some experience. They are telling about what's happening on training and some experience that we have.
way to continue. Decided to become was justified North American regional for Gagarin today and be great to continue partnerships. But what we did, they're mostly they were helping us to run recruitment training, leadership training, and for the region that we didn't have members because when you bring the foreigners to more training, one that you also do, but it's get more people. Then it counts for the last meeting. Then we continue the project, and now what we are doing, every year during the summer, 4 single guys will come, but they come to participate in our camps because our camps are different experience for them. And also we want opportunities to go and visit them and learn more about them from here. And we want to do next year as well, like new tools that are very important. We also do the same project with them while they're at home. So we use also Facebook to make sure and learn from each other. We have something learned from them and they learn some different ways to work for experience. Another good project for us was partnering with them. Project. After the World War
Was a guy movement in Toronto that was some idea for the World City Day together. The first meeting in Toronto with the leaders, the trainers. That was the leaders of the training of our country. Our first activity, World City Day. That was in some cities in Peru, they are playing. In Canada. That was the sky that I told you before. That was the big work. There are some activities that we have here. Some of Canada, some of Peru. Also, that's another training, San Vincent, San Grenadines. Another MOs. Working training. This is the event in the Cabaña. Some pictures preparing the carnival. That's the International Day of the Girl. How it sounds, this is the different, here you can see the different training that we have, not only Peru and more. And the stories that they share.
Change the world, come with me. Time to let our dreams fly free. And
Mascots, every training has some mascots. Some testimony.
Hi, my name is Melissa. I live in a small northern village in Saskatchewan, Canada. And I think that Training 2020 has positively impacted our guiding experience for girls by letting them work with sisters in El Salvador to take action on global issues.
Hi everyone, my name is Lashana from Nova Scotia, Canada. Twinning 2020 has helped me to grow personally as a Girl Guide leader. Among the things I value most are learning how to incorporate WAG's programming into regular meetings ambassador for Legs Initiatives and World Guide.
Hi, I'm Lauren from Girl Guides in Canada. Training has increased the guiding experience for girls because they've had the opportunity to learn about global guiding. It's been really eye-opening for them to find out that guiding is not just something that takes place in their neighborhood, city, or country, but something that's creating opportunities for girls around the world. It's also given them the chance to reflect on their own guiding experiences as they think about what to share with their training partners.
Hi, my name is Kylie. I'm from Canada, and the most powerful thing I've learned in 2020 has been the connections that can be made through social media and through all sorts of different means.
Hi, my name is Laura Bell, and I'm one of the twinning co-leads in the province of Quebec in Canada. This Twinning 2020 project has been a very valuable learning experience for our girls. They've discovered proving guiding and culture, sharing song and dance and recipes, discovering differences, but a lot of similarities along the way. And through the power of technology, for the first time, we've been able to put a real face to global guiding. Our girls have had the opportunity through Skype and Facebook to communicate face-to-face and in real time, making the experience that much more cool, according to the girls, and that much more meaningful and impactful, according to our leaders. For the first time, a lot of our girls and guiders are truly understanding the meaning of being one in 10 million.
So this is the most things that we do, but also we are trying to ask the younger ones, they're asking the question if it's the older one or not. In our region, we are trying to also do this transport to the center. It's also
Hi, my name is Alice. I am the young lead from the Twinning Peru, Canada. And this project gave me a lot of international experience. I met incredible people, and also I learned a lot of things from Canada. I think it was one of the best projects I did. Hi, my name is Alison.
Hi girls, my name is Marie, and I am a member of the 2020 team. This experience is one of the most beautiful in which I have been involved. It's incredible how, with the use of the technology, girls from Canada and Peru can easily share knowledge about their country, and especially meet new friends. This project is developed in our country in different cities, and our guides are really enjoying this opportunity. For us, language is never a limit when guide language is used.
As a conclusion, because of everything that they said, for us, we are very happy with the training. The girls are engaged, and we are trying, because it's a challenge for us, because the girls are saying, what's the next activity? What's the next activity? Because they have like a competition between cities, and also that was very, very good experience for us. We have another experience with another MO, and here talking about what.
I'm now talking about Gold UK. Most of you, well, some of you at least, must have heard of it. UK organized, or created this program to help countries and MOs with some aspects that they can help us. In our case, we needed help with membership issues. So when Anna and Caroline came, that they were the planning team, we talked, that was 1 year before we started. So, yeah, no, before. So that's this year's team. Yeah, yes. Well, we talked for like just lunch and an evaluation, and we discussed that the most important thing was recruitment and retain of members, because we actually have very few, and the few that are there are getting the Vacancies Act in 2015. The provinces were a little bit like better explained, more dynamic, and in Lima, the subjects they talked about were harder. and actually more important and interesting. So that's Team 2015 working in Ayacucho. And Chiclayo. And actually, the great big change about the second one is that in Lima, there were only trainings, like 4 hours this day, 4 hours the next day. We organized as an MO a national camp. So the ones that couldn't go to Tacna or Ayacucho or Sullana because of economics or time they had to work or something, they could come to the national camp. And the good thing is that we didn't have only UK Gold, we had freebie me with Miguel Gutierrez, who is like our trainer for trainees. So the experience was enlightening, and we were able to not only receive but also give. The UK Gold team was part of the Youth Freebie Me training. So that's everybody being part of the freebie. Oh, before that. There's, well, aside from the gold project, that was amazing, by the way. We have right now new project in development with Austria. They contacted us and they said they wanted to have a social development project. And the objective is they're going to finance construction for a recreational center in the Peru province. And, well, the goal is to have a guiding experience with the team that's going to work here. And the curious thing is that it happened because when we had, in 2007, an earthquake in Peru, in South Peru, we had a lot of volunteers to go and prepare bags with clothes and food and toys. And one Austrian guide went to help. And she was surprised and amazed, and she really liked the way we worked. And I think she really got impressed also by the poverty and everything, the level of the provinces in comparison to the capital. So she went back, and I guess she was convincing her MO to work with Peru, and we just got news of it like a couple of months ago. We're really looking forward to this. So that's our experience. Thank you.
I was just going to say that I think that that last story is really interesting, because we told you a bit about a regional project that we're doing, and a little bit about the Gold Project, which is MO to MO specifically. And then even now, an individual guide who was visiting another country who has then come up with, a project for her MO as well. So lots of different levels of partnerships that you can think of. If you're thinking about that with your own MO, you might start just with other units or districts in your country, or you might go to your neighbor, or you might go up to your region, or of course we're all here developing connections this week, so we're going global. I think Mariette is going to take us now into another activity around partnerships. Oh, we have a question.
I speak Arabic. الموضوع جدا مهم وفعلا يعني من المواضيع اللي شدت انتباهي خلال هذا المنتدى على مدار الايام الماضيه، من المواضيع اللي فعلا تلامس مثل ما يقولون العربيين تلامس شغاف القلوب. نحن هنا في سلطنة عمان توجد مشاريع توأمة بين الفرق الكشفية والإرشادية بمستوى محلي ومستوى بين مدرسة أو فرقة وفرقة أخرى في نفس المنطقة أو المحافظة، أو فرقة أخرى وفرقة في محافظة أخرى في إقليم آخر من سلطنة عمان. ولكن نتمنى أن نرتقي ونصل إلى توأمة بين سلطنة عمان ودولة أخرى في عمل إرشادي يكون بين مرشدات سلطنة عمان مثلا ومرشدات خارج سلطنة عمان. أنا أتمنى أن يكون هذا قائد ابتسام موجودة. فعلا يعني هذه من المواضيع المهمة اللي يجب أن نقف عندها. شكرا جزيلا مرة أخرى.
برنامج التوأمة احنا منطقة دولة الكويت طبقناها على المرشدات مع منطقة ومنطقة ثانية، لكن في مخيمات دول مجلس التعاون هذا تعتبر أكبر مثال للتوأمة، لأن كل دول مجلس التعاون يكونون خلال مخيم الزهراء مرحلة ابتدائية أو يكون مخيم المرشدات مرحلتين المتوسط والثانوي، فيعتبر هذا تطبيق توأمة. احنا نسميه مخيم خليجي، فهذا المخيم الخليجي هو يعتبر توأمة بين بلدان الخليج العربي. ونفس الشيء نقول المخيمات العربية. المخيمات العربية تحتوي كل العرب في ضمن خلال المخيمات، وفي مخيمات عالمية هذه ما ندرجها تحت بند توأمة، ما تصير يعني هذه توأمة. ليش؟ مشاريع تنموية، ما هذا هو في المخيمات اللي احنا نعملها يكون فيها مشاريع دول
يعني مختلف ثقافات بين الدول.
So I think that this is taking us nicely into our next activity, which is around thinking about different types of partnerships. So I'm going to turn it over to Mariette to take us to the next activity.
So to make it, you have questions?
هلا كانوا عم يحكوا بشيء ثاني غير التوأمة. التوأمة نحن بنعرف انه هي شراكات مو شرط تكون مع وحدات كشفية او شيء بيتعلق بالكشاف، ممكن تكون منظمة عالمية، جهة ممكن تكون داعمة مثلا مثل عندنا بسوريا نحن عملنا شراكات مع مجلس الشباب السوري، عملنا مثلا مشروع مع منظمة اليونيسف. هي الشراكة التوأمة او الشراكة. بينما انا لما بطبق برنامج مع جهة ثانية فهيدي نحن ما بنعتبرها شراكات. أنشطة مش فاهم.
So you make that discussion in your groups? You're getting ahead. So we're going to do what we did right at the beginning of the session. Divide into 5 groups from 8 to 10, no more, not less. And discuss which part if has your MO had any partnerships and which one. So come on, go groups and discuss different countries. Has your MO had any partnerships, MO partnerships, and which ones? So you have less than 5 minutes, like really.
all go all the way around.
But if you want to come, you must know how divided
count because it's true. Yeah, but it's true because we understand people from street is
Okay, everybody. So it sounds like you're having some discussions. Can I bring you all back to me for a moment? Thank you. So what I wanted to do was I'm actually going to visit each group, and I just would like you to let me know one partnership, if you can pick in your group, that you thought was interesting, that you heard from one of within your group. Something different than what we told you about from Western Hemisphere. So was there anything in this group that came out that you thought was really interesting?
We were in a much deeper fundamental place. What is the difference between going to an international camp and having a partnership with another MO or another organisation and we decided to violently agree. It's all right. That's fair.
So one of the things we were trying to do in this session was to get you to think about how, by connecting cross-culturally within guiding, we can create better experiences for our girls and for our volunteers. So does anyone in this group have anything they'd like to share about your group discussions?
The best answer to pick for the question, okay? You have chosen two. You have already chosen the answer. Okay? Your group. Please don't repeat the. Please don't repeat
في تونس احنا عندنا شراكة بين منظمة الكشافة التونسية وجمعية كندية. الجمعية هذه رصدت مجموعة من المال، يعني رصيد مالي على ذمة تونس لإرساء تدريب القادة المنتهية دراستهم، اللي استكملوا دراستهم، قصد تكوينهم تدريبيا لقيادة مشاريع شخصية. احنا صار لنا سنتين واحنا ندربوا في الجمهورية كاملة، في الجمهورية تونس جميعا، في جميع الولايات، عدد كبير من القادة اللي يستهدفهم هذا التدريب في قيادة مشروع خاص، إداريا، قياديا، جميع أركان اللي تستوجب الانتصاب للحساب الخاص.
Thank you very much. So, moving over to this table, what can you tell us that came out of your discussion that you think is interesting and you'd like to share with the larger group?
ممكن شوية احنا اختلفنا هنا كجروب بين الشراكة والتوأمة. الشراكة عندنا المشاركة مع الجهات مثل وزارة الصحة، مثل هيئة الشباب، مثل اللجان، هذه اعتبرها شراكة يعني مستمرة. التوأمة عبارة عن اني اتبنى مشروع معين لمدة 3 سنوات او 5 سنوات، اللي انا اشتغل معاه مثلا دولة ثانية هي تدعمني بمال، تدعمني بتدريب، يكون لها خطة معينة، تواريخ محددة. الشراكة هي معي طول السنة، جهات المتعاونة أنا أعتبرها. فهذا الموضوع كان فيه شوية اختلاف بالآراء.
And what about our last group? What came out of your discussion that you think might be interesting to share with the group?
We had some really good discussions over the fact that none of us actually do what we consider to be twinning is probably more youth-led, as opposed to partnerships which are membership organisation-led. So none of us actually do something, but some of us started to work out ideas in countries that we potentially could work with. New Zealand and Australia decided that it would be feasible and practical, but we could do something girl-led. And most of us talked about opportunities that we could probably further define.
That's what we like to hear, because what we wanted to do today was to spark within you some inspiration about thinking about how can we use our movement, how can we use WAGs and our membership in WAGs and our common programming, our common vision, our common goals to create a better experience for our girls. So when we were talking about partnerships, our partnerships were within the movement. But you're right, there are lots of different types of partnerships that you could explore for different reasons, because your MO might have a specific need, or because you don't have the funding to do a particular project that you're looking for. But I would challenge you in that there is a lot of skill and a lot of strength within the movement itself. If you create those connections between member organizations directly, I believe that there's a lot of strength in our movement, and that can only lead to great things for our girls. So I appreciate you all sharing something back with the group that you might have gotten out of your discussions. I hope that in hearing a bit about what we have tried to do in the Western Hemisphere to focus on mutual partnerships and equality between MOs to create a better experience for our girls has been at least a little thought-provoking for you, and hopefully a little inspirational. And hopefully, if there are people in this session who want to start creating connections with other MOs, you can begin those conversations on Glow, for example, or feel free to exchange your information before you leave the event. Because really what we're all here to do today is, well, all week really, is to make these connections between us so that we can bring those down, so our girls are able to make connections and truly understand that they're 1 in 10 million. So, did either of you have anything you wanted to add?
It's already an international experience. It's maybe a flight to abroad, but the essential thing is that we implement it and
Low,
we share it
the Facebook of all the
to
trainings
other
that we
people
have.
in our
Maybe
organization.
we can ask to find some
After
real activities that you find on all the activities.
So, yeah, just to clarify, so all of the twinning partnerships, actually, all but one, do have open Facebook groups. So if you are on Facebook, you could search them and see the kinds of activities that they're doing and the kind of things that they're sharing, because they are actually all quite active in what they're sharing back and forth between the girls. So, yeah, Rosie, I was just encouraging you to have a look at that if you wanted to see more examples of the kind of things they're doing. And as I said, thanks for coming to the session. I hope it's been somewhat helpful for you. And we're just going to keep you here for a few minutes because we do have a few announcements. So please stay put. Oh, here she is right on time.
Hello everyone, it's me again, and I'm giving you some announcements. So you can go straight from here to dinner, and if you would like to have one of the mascot adventures, which is basically visiting a mall, so you feel like shopping or going for a walk, and the buses will leave after dinner. So basically you have to go straight back to your hotel where you're having dinner, and then get ready and the buses will be waiting.
What time exactly?
Well, that's the buses will be ready from now, so yeah. So basically the sooner the better. Yeah, because now it's 7:30 and let's say by 8 you try to finish. Yes, I mean, we have the information that the buses are here ready because they were due to leave from 7:30.